Let's talk about the narrative and descriptive rhetorical modes. Rhetorical modes are methods of writing. There are several distinct patterns from which a writer may choose. Perhaps the most recognizable is narrative. A narrative is simply a story. All stories have three elements: the beginning, the middle, and the end. These terms suggest time, which is generally how stories are based, and often they are written chronologically, but this is not a hard and fast rule. Think about the old murder mystery Columbo or the movie Pulp Fiction. Neither of those are written chronologically. Stories have a purpose, and the purpose will decide how the story is written. If it's a joke, for example, you're going to want to save the punchline for last. Remember the idea of emphatic order and saving the most important thing for last. When you begin to write your narrative, ask yourself, what point am I trying to make? Strive toward that message. I want you to pause the video and watch the following link, and then come back and we'll discuss it. Okay, so I'm hoping that you watched the clip that I gave you, and this clip is from the popular show Friends. Of course, this narrative is different from a written essay because the characters' facial expressions and their reactions tell part of the story, but the traits of the story, of the narrative, remain the same. First of all, it is a story. It has a beginning and a middle and an end. She was stung by a jellyfish, and they were too far to go for help. They remembered a first aid tip to ease the pain, but it required someone to pee on the wound. Painful has two meanings here because they have been bothered by the memory of the incident. Okay, they also get to the action almost immediately. Monica got stung by a jellyfish, and then Monica says, I got stung bad. And now we are all listening to the story, including the other four friends in the cast. Now, the narrative does have a point. It has a short moral or a small moral. And think about that as a universal truth, something that we all need to learn, something we want to teach our children maybe. In this case, the moral of this story might be that your friends will always be there for you no matter what, which is really a theme, I think, of the entire show. Now, a descriptive essay paints a picture for the reader. It is easily combined with the narrative mode to tell a story. Sensory words should be used in a descriptive essay in order to give the reader the best possible mental picture of what you're describing. You know, sight, sound, feeling, taste, all of those types of words. A concert does not just have a mosh pit. It has a whole of teeming, bouncing, rhythmic, insane fans simultaneously experiencing an out-of-body experience through sound. They both mean the same thing, but look at how much more descriptive. You can almost feel that mosh pit moving and jumping. So, which of these could be said to be descriptive? I live in an older home in Shreveport. It is green with flower beds out front. Well, there are some adjectives there. You know, it's green, there are flower beds, it's an older home. It gives you the city. So that's some descriptive. There's some information there. But how about this one? Built in the 20s, my Shreveport home tries miserably to keep up with the neighborhood. The faded olive green paint peels daily with the harsh sun, while the flower beds out front are rancid from neglect. Now, think about it. We feel the sun. We see the olive green paint and how faded it is. We get a very visual picture, and that's the idea behind description. You want to use words that paint a visual picture for this reader. We're born storytellers. There are stories of weddings and graduations and accidents and first dates and friendships and strange things that happen to people. Remember the Aerosmith story? We tell stories on a daily basis. You know, this guy cut me off and then he ran off the road. Things like that. Narratives come naturally to us. Okay? People are usually good at expressing themselves. We can all describe the puppy we bought or our new baby. We could say the cookies were warm and gooey. And the baby was pink with blonde fuzz. Description is in our nature. Most essay modes welcome a little narration, as well as description. I want you to read the sample essay Gloria for an idea of how this combination works, the narrative descriptive essay. I will tell you that the writer of that essay was yours truly. It was my freshman descriptive narrative essay that I wrote for Jessica Cobbs, who is also an instructor here at BIPC. Yes, I saved it. I told you. English people, we save everything. So read Gloria, get an idea of narrative and descriptive, and good luck with one of these essays as you try to write it for an assignment.